Caselli, owner of Paintless Dent Repair of New Jersey. I'm in my 16th year as a paintless dent repair technician, and I'd like to talk to you about the glue that I sell and give you some points on glue pulling. Glue pulling is one of the best things that has happened to paintless dent repair. It's going to allow you to take out dents in areas that you can't get behind with your conventional dent tools, and now you don't have to turn down jobs just because dents are located in an area that the steel is doubled or you can't get behind with a tool. First of all, the glue that I sell has a 50% more pulling power than the standard glue sticks that are available out there. A lot of people are on the paintless dent repair bandwagon and they're selling glues with colored dyes in them, saying they're for this temperature, they're for paintless dent repair pulling. This glue is specifically designed for paintless dent repair pulling. A lot of you may have a glue kit, maybe some of you don't have a glue pulling kit as of yet. It's not really the kit that's the problem, it's the glue. Okay, I prefer to use a little cone type system. It's similar to a bridge system, and I'm going to insert the glue puller into the cone system, and when I'm turning on the wing nut to lift the dent, I'm going to have equal pressure all the way around the panel of the car, and that's going to give me much more pressure to lift the dent. The glue gun that I use, you could use any type that you want. Standard glue gun is a must. I use a dual temperature glue gun, and I use the temperature on low 90% of the time. As you know, most of the glues that you use for glue pulling work best at around 75 degrees. So I happen to be inside a body shop right now, so the temperature is going to be ideal for the demonstration. If you're outside and you can't get into a shop, you're going to want to warm up the car to about 75 degrees. If it's too hot, you can cool it off with a water or spray bottle to get the temperature right. So now let's demonstrate on pulling out a dent using the glue pulling method, because this can drive a few people crazy. It can be time consuming, and with this glue and a combination of some of the tips that I'm going to show you, we're going to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to go around and we're going to find a dent on this car. This vehicle has some hail damage on it, things scattered here and there. First thing I'm going to do is have my glue gun plugged in, and I'm going to make sure that the glue gets good and hot in the gun. So while you're doing some of these other preparations, just make sure that your glue gun is hot before you get started, because that's one of the biggest things that promotes adhesion. Alright, we're going to be working on a dent right here up close to the windshield glass, and on most automobiles that area is doubled anyway. And the first thing you want to do is make sure that the area doesn't have any grease or wax or anything on it. So I'm going to use rubbing alcohol to clean that area really good so I get an excellent bond with my glue. Alright, if the car happens to have tire dressing or something on it, more than just dirt, you're more than welcome to use a degreaser or something a little more powerful than rubbing alcohol. Alright, now I have the area cleaned and ready to pull the dent. I have my dent pull tab here, and I'm going to start applying the glue to the tab, and I'm going to place it on the dent. Make sure we can try to get this in the camera. Alright, I'm applying the glue to the top of the tab, and I'm using quite a bit, about almost half an inch off the tab. Now this next step is really important. When I place this glue on the dent, you don't want to squish the glue out, and you're going to want to hold it there for about 30 seconds. Try to have the pull tab about as straight to the panel as possible so you can get a straight up lift. Now you're going to want to have a little bit of patience. You're going to want that glue to cool for about 2 minutes. You might be able to pull a little sooner than that. Now while this glue is setting up and cooling, I want you to notice the ring that's going around the pull tab here. I didn't squish any of the glue out. This is what comes out naturally from laying the tab on the car. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, once this glue dries, I'm going to lay my ring on top of this, and the wing nut's actually what's going to lift the dent. Okay? A lot of you may have a straight bridge system. where you also lift this way, except you have a suction cup on either side of the panel, and when you're bearing down pressure, you're putting pressure on either side of that bridge in order to lift the dent up. The only problem you could run into with a glue pulling system that's a bridge is that the pressure applied to lift the dent creates a dent on either side of the dent that you just pulled out. With this system here, you got a full complete circle on the ring. That puts an even pressure on the panel and gives you some better lifting. Okay, so now while the glue is setting up, you can feel it. It'll become pretty hard when it's ready to be lifted off of the panel. You could use this on every panel, obviously. It comes off with rubbing alcohol. And if you're outside and you want it to set up quicker, say it's a hot or a humid day, you can use a spray mist bottle and spray mist that glue and let that set it up quicker. Because you could have the car parked on a shady side, you could have the panel cooled, and if it's still a pretty hot and humid day, the glue may not set up the way that you want it to. Now once this sets up, we're going to lift it. That's another key thing, is when you're lifting the dent. You're going to want to make a nice soft mound, because as you can tell, the dent's completely covered by the glue and the pull tab. And when I lift up the dent, I can't tell how much of the dent I'm pulling out. So I want to pull it up to where the lift tab snaps off, and I get a nice soft mound that I can level out with my nylon dowel and my hammer to make it level with the rest of the panel. In most cases, you can do this in one shot, which is going to save you quite a bit of time. You may have to do it in a couple of shots. And the glue seems to be cooling well. I'm going to grab the nylon dowel and I'm going to lift this up. Okay, now when I'm applying pressure to the wing nut, I can see, I don't know if you can catch it on the film, I can see the metal's already lifting. If the glue's not going to give and snap off and you already know you've pulled up a nice soft mound, you can just stop and then remove the adhesive. So as I'm lifting, I'm giving a slow, sturdy pull. The glue is snapped right off of the tab like it should, and I'm left with glue on the roof and over the dent. And I can already see visually that I already have a bit of a mound around that glue. That's exactly the kind of results you want. No hassle. And like I said, it's really the glue formula that's doing the work. I'm lifting the glue up a little bit as I'm adding the alcohol. This way I can get an even amount underneath the leftover glue. So when I peel it off the car, I don't have any more glue left over on the panel, because then it makes it difficult to get off in the end. Alright, this is exactly what we want here. Take a look at that. You got a nice soft mound. The dent's completely pulled out. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to tap it with my nylon dowel and hammer and level it out with the rest of the panel, and the repair will be done. Okay, what I'm doing now is tapping down that soft mound using my reflection board. As you can see, that's all it took to pull that dent out. And in no time you can be a glue pulling expert. All the tips that I've given you here are on a sheet that is included with the sale of every batch of glue. And I'd like to thank you for watching this presentation. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me anything at any time. Thank you.